Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if this is the first time you have ran across my channel, this is going to be a big sister talk slash mother talk. I like to do these once in a while when it's on my spirit. And right now I've been seeing and hearing from a lot of you ladies and a lot of men and how people use hope as a form of manipulation, how hope can really blind you, how hope can keep you in a situation longer than you need to be putting up with and dealing with, how hope is just overall, it could be a good thing, but most likely I find that hoping for something is more so a negative outcome. So let's talk about the positive of hopes. Like, I hope I get this job. I'm a firm believer in manifestation. So instead of saying, I hope I get this job, I hope I get approved, just say, I feel like I'm going to get, I know that I'm going to get approved. I know I'm going to get the house that I need. I know that I'm going to get the job that's for me, instead of hoping for something, because you're long waiting for something to happen that has not happened, that may happen or may not happen. Now, let's say it's used in a bad way. The bad way is you are in a long overdue relationship, and you are holding on to hope with this person, and you're hoping that things can turn around. You're hoping that things can change, but you find yourself in a repeating pattern with this person forward and forward and forward again, and this person is not changing their ways, and you're growing tired, they're growing tired, and it's just like, you know what? I give up hope. But the sucky part is about that, one person could be having hope for the relationship while the other person has just simply moved on and realized the reality of the situation and realized that you're just not compatible with that person, and that's okay. Sometimes we get ourselves in situations with a person where it's long term or it's short term, and we hope for a better outcome. But that's not what it's looking like. It takes two people to be dedicated to each other. And if that person is not really trying to change and they're not trying to make any effort on their behalf, and it's just a toxic overall relationship, and you're holding on to hope, that means you need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, what am I hoping for? And is this realistic? So I'm going to go for me personally. My son's father, I had hope that he would come around. I had hope that we were eventually somehow going to get back together in the long run and work things out, that he was going to grow and mature. And yes, he did grow and mature. But what I realized is the reality of the situation is that we were just not meant to be together. And that was hard to grasp when you're holding on to hope, because you're like, well, I think that one day this could happen, and one day this could possibly happen. Holding on to hope like that can set you up, your expectations, and set you up for failure in the future and a lot of disappointment, because that person could move on with somebody else, and you're hoping and holding on to the hope, and then you see it kind of like fade, and unexpectedly it happens when this person moves on. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna feel like a disappointment, especially if you've been holding on for this hope for a couple of years. Hoping that this person wouldn't cheat on you anymore, hoping that this person actually change. And it's not that this person changes for the better for the other person. They just may be more compatible with that person or not. You don't know. We don't know what the future holds, and we don't know what the future holds for other individuals. All you can do is control what's in your life and what the situation is accepting reality. That is a lot of women, and I'm gonna be honest, ladies, that is our downfall. That is our downfall so much that men actually manipulate us with hope, because they know that we hold on to this fantasy of relationships, right? So they grasp onto that reality, right? And they're like, I know how women are. You just give them a little bit of hope that something can happen between us, and I can wheeze my way back in, and I can, manipulate her to have her on the side waiting for me. Like, if you're playing the side chick role and you're waiting for this guy to leave his marriage or leave the relationship or leave his ex alone or leave his baby mama alone, you're hoping for the best outcome. And he knows that you're hoping for the best outcome, but you're not looking at the reality of the situation, that this person has placed you to the side. They have not made you a priority in their life. They have not made you of any importance anymore. Maybe one day you were. Maybe at some point in that relationship, you were the priority, but you have to look at the reality that is in front of you. And if this person is not fighting for you, loving on you, being with you, then the reality is, stop holding on to hope and look at reality. Because ladies, that is our downfall. We are so wrapped up in this fantasy world of things working out. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of blame movies for that. I blame society for that, because that is what we grew up watching. We grew up watching the prince, and he's not paying attention, and all suddenly, boom, like she's the princess, and she's this, and she's that, and she catches his eye, and he forgets all about this person and comes to you and rescue you and all this other stuff. But to be honest, like, that is just not reality for a lot of people. And that may not happen for you. And the reality is, how you deal with that is that you look at reality and stop holding on to this fantasy of maybe things will work out. If it will work out, it will work out. But you don't hope for it to work out. You just pray and let it go. I think that for me, how I was able to move on from a lot of relationships is that I looked at the reality eventually, and I was looking what's in front of me, and I grew tired, just like a lot of women. We hold on to hope until we just grow tired. We hold on to this fantasy until we just grow tired. We grow tired, but by that time, you're already kicked so low. Your self-esteem is kicked low. Your self-worth is kicked low. You don't know who you are anymore. You lost yourself. You let go of yourself. You feel worthless. You don't feel like yourself anymore, because you have lived in this fantasy world that was far from your reality. And that's why when you're ready to finally walk away from a relationship, it feels like it's forced, because you're forced to move on because you're so tired and you don't see any improvement from trying to wait around for this person. And this is how a lot of men, like I said, use this tactic as a form of manipulation, because, oh, I don't feel like being in a relationship right now, or I'm not really looking for a relationship right now, or you know what, I don't want to be in a relationship with you now. I think we should take a break because you're doing this and you're doing that and you're doing this, and I'm growing tired. I'm tired of this, and I need you to just wait and see if it's gonna work out. I've had friends and I've had girlfriends where we have these talks, and a guy literally told her, like, I need you to wait for me. I need you to wait for me until I get my stuff together. I need you to wait for me until I get my job together. Like, a friend of mine literally is pregnant, and the guy was like, look, like, I just need to concentrate on myself right now, and I just can't do this relationship thing right now, but I really need you to wait for me. He's manipulating her into thinking that, you know what, have hope that this can happen. There's a difference between playing the fool and actually working things out in a relationship that is beneficial on both parties. Like, okay, like you fully feel like this is needed, and you understand the reality that we may not come back together, and that is okay, and you're actually taking the steps to move on and live your life. And if it happens, it happens. Anything that's meant for you will be for you. I don't know how many times you've probably been in a situation where you went for a job and you didn't get that position. And then you later learned that that position probably would have stressed you out. It was underpaid, and that person was going to be overworked. And God ended up blessing you with something much bigger, much better, with more pay and more opportunity. I don't know how many times where I'm like, oh my God, like, God, please give me this job. And then I end up seeing that job position and be like, wow, they did a whole bunch of, like, I really, like, I'll use an example. And I know we're talking about relationships, but this can just apply. Just look at the logic behind it, right? I applied for a job before, and I was like, I really want this job. Why did they tell me no? I really want this position. They ended up calling me back a few months later at the same job, but for a different position. Once I got into the job and got into my position, I saw the other position. That position, that person literally, that was a turnover position. It was a turnover position because so many people could not work that position because it was so difficult and so stressful, and it was so hard, and it was stressful, and it was like a turnover, like literally like 5 people within a year. And I was like, oh my God, like, Thank you, God, for not giving me that opportunity, because you knew what was for me and what was meant for me. And you were protecting me from something that I didn't see because I wanted it and I hoped for it so bad. And I was really depressed about not getting that position. And God had to later show me why I didn't get that position. And sometimes we may not get that why. And that's why you have to trust the process. Why me and my son's father did not end up being together the way we thought we were and planned to be, I will maybe never know the why, but eventually in my situation, I did get some of the why, and I understood it, and I understood it for what it just really is. Like, it just wasn't meant to be. You know, it wasn't meant to be, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine. And the way we co-parent now is, and we brought a beautiful child into this world together, and he's grown to be an amazing man, and I've grown to be an amazing woman. And I hope that I'm finally in a place where I can say, I hope he finds happiness, and I know he wishes the same for me. You know, and that took a while. That didn't happen overnight. My child is like 5 years old. Okay, that didn't happen overnight. But one of the steps, and I made a lot of mistakes on the way of moving on. For one, I held on to hope for too long. So that's why I'm talking about this now, because I feel like I dragged on a lot of relationships longer than they should have because I had hope. And you just have to look at the reality of the situation. Is this beneficial? Is this person really who they say they are? Am I being hurt? Am I being abused? Am I being manipulated? Am I being cheated on constantly? Is he the man that he say he is? If he's not, what are you holding on to? And I have to ask myself that, because I get myself in situations where I love so hard. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And that's why, you know, it's so hard to get into relationships for me personally, because once I am in love, it's really hard for me to unclaw until I get tired, until I just grow tired and just feel like, you know what, I tried. We live in a today's society where people just like to give up on relationships so easily, but then at the same time, we're not looking at the reality of this situation, right? So I had a comment, and this is what triggered the word hope, is that a woman said that she was with her baby father on and off for years, and that he gave her the hope that he was going to come back. And that they were going to work. They were working things out, right? For years, they were working things out. He was getting the benefit of her because she wasn't moving on. She was holding on to hope that they were going to work things out. She was holding on to that hope, and she was probably sleeping with him, and he's getting the benefits of her, but not knowing that while she's holding on to that hope, he's moving on and trying to find something that he really wants for himself. And he eventually did. And he found somebody else. Now they're living together, and now they're talking about marriage, and she's left heartbroken because she was holding on to hope for so long, instead of looking at the reality of, if this man wants to be with me and this man loves me, he is going to do whatever it takes to be with me and get back with me. He's not going to be straddling me around. And that's where we have to take accountability and say, I'm looking at this situation right now. It doesn't make me feel good. I don't feel good inside. I don't feel good when I go to sleep. I don't feel good when I wake up. I don't feel good when I think about the situation. I feel good when I'm with him. I feel good when I'm sleeping with him. But when he leaves, what is the reality? Can you post him on social media? Can you go out to dinner with him? Can he be around your family? Can you be around his family? Does he represent you? If he is hiding you and hiding the relationship, or haven't put a title on that relationship and keeps straddling you along, you are holding on to hope, and you're being a hopeless romantic. And you're being fooled, and you're living in a fantasy world. And that is how you wake up from the false reality of having hope. So ladies, comment below, or fellas, comment below, have you ever been in a situation where someone was giving you hope that you guys would work out, you guys would become a thing, you guys would become married, or this person has gave you broken promises, but you're not really seeing the fruits of their labor, and more so hoping that it will eventually work out. Please do not get yourself caught in a situation like this and delay the time. I know that some of you guys are just hopeless romantics like I am. so I know how hard it can be. But comment your experience below. Have you ever been in a situation where hope kept you into that situation longer than you should have, or made you feel like you were waiting around for this person only for them to play you at the end? Comment below and give this a thumbs up if you relate to this or you know someone who needs this, and share the video. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. There are more gems that's dropping. You guys, I have a lot of stuff coming up for you, a lot of announcements coming up for you, and why I've been absent and just everything. So a lot of things are coming, so I look forward to, you know, taking you guys on this adventure with me. And thank you for watching my channel. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram at Brittany the Shea. All right, guys, y'all have a good one. Bye.